Happy Halloween, friends! Welcome to another art video. Today I'm going to give you a sketchbook tour of my latest sketchbook that I just started in June. I kind of just been sketching in the morning and wanted to give you guys a look of how my sketching has evolved from then to now. I've been trying to sketch almost daily and I'm excited to see the progress of my sketchbook. And I have one page left and this hat is going. I have one page left and I want to sketch it with you guys. So this little sketchbook I actually got in Mexico on my honeymoon with my husband, and it was in Mexico City and we went to the anthropological museum there, and I just had to have these notebooks. It was a pack of 3 and I'm excited to try the other ones, although I'm pretty sure they're lined and dotted, so I can work around that. That's totally fine. So anyway, here we start. This was the little bit of a notebook that I just started drawing in. I wrote down the year plus my name just in case I ever forget. It's always good to date your sketchbooks. And this was the very first sketch that I did. It was for a video on, it was actually my last sketchbook tour, and how I talked about how I used to sketch and I should probably get back into it. And so I was like, I'm gonna sketch for that video. And so I did, and I was talking to my husband like, I should probably be sketching. It's a good way to train the brain, train the eye, and keep your creative juices flowing. So I actually started with some character sketches. So you can see it's always good to be like open and honest with your drawings. Started with character sketches. Like sometimes you can be a little bit silly if that's how you're feeling. And then I was like, maybe I should give myself more of a prompt. I started just being way more sketchy, just trying to be a little bit loose. There's a couple of poses that I really like I still like this one. And eventually maybe I'll take it to the next level, but not right now. I actually used this pose for a digital illustration before. I started like doing more poses, kind of getting the feel of sketching back in the morning. And I really love this one, this sketch right here. It's super loose and you get the basic fundamentals down. It was very, very quick for me. And I love those kinds of sketches. You could tell the pace, the momentum. And I was just kind of like, kept doodling, and I felt myself gearing more towards portraiture. So I wanted to like focus more on doing studies. So I started right here, and you can tell that I'm a little bit rusty. I can see all the mistakes, but I was getting there. They only took a few minutes. This one took 6 minutes, and then this one was like 3 minutes with no eraser. So I was trying to focus on speed and accuracy more so than doing character sketches. So I have a couple here, and then I try to just focus more so on doing just flat portraiture and timing myself too, because I used to be really fast and very accurate, and I've lost that. So this sketchbook is kind of more of me trying to get back that speed, that precision, and the confidence to go back into doing real life portraiture. So I go in between. These ones are actually studies of some runners trying to build up the body structure. Character illustrations mixed in to kind of get more poses for some illustrations that I'm feeling. And the Olympics were happening, so I just felt like, what's a good way to study the body? Look at gymnasts, look at athletes. They're actually using a lot more muscles than us desk people use. Oh yes, I love him. I remember drawing him and I was so happy because it only took, it took me 12 minutes to draw him. And you could just get everything that's happening in the pose. I pretty much just use this pencil for the most part. This is my favorite pencil. It's so heavy, love it. But you can just see where I just got the basic fundamentals down. Over here, you'll see I was just like trying to do some poses, kind of working with the body, trying to get some of that curvature in. But I love this one. This one just seems so natural. And then this one was really, I remember this picture. It was very stunning. It was super high contrast. And I don't know if you can see just a little bit, but I just love how the face came out. Just a little bit of eyelash is enough to indicate that it's there. And I felt like as I kept on sketching, I'm definitely seeing progress. I'm definitely seeing that my speed I'm getting faster. I'm getting more efficient. Here, I think I just stopped timing myself, but here I started focusing more on doing some shading, working with shadows. Oh, especially here. This is where I just went all in, and this one I actually only used this pencil for, and you can totally tell where I did the shading, how it shaded. I usually try to sketch light and go darker and build up from that, but it wasn't enough with just the pencil. So I drew Zendaya after I bought some new tools, and I just actually decided to spend a lot more time on this portrait, and I love how she came out. Sketching portraits, it's all about searching and feeling your way around shapes and kind of jotting down what you're seeing, and that's what I love about this portrait. This I feel like marks my progress. I see that I'm actually getting better, and if I'm not getting faster, I'm getting everything down. I'm getting all the little notes, and oh my gosh, I love, 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 love this one. You can tell it's more about a study. It's more about building structure than it is drawing a pretty picture. I love drawing people who have a lot of prominent bone structure. So you can see like this man's cheekbone is very sharp. In the picture, everything was just so angular, and so I played up on that. I tried to work in on building the shapes, building the foundation, and this attests to the foundation. I spent the time measuring, and I spent more time trying to figure out the shapes that make up the face, and I love this portrait. It just looks so good, and it looks so angular. And then this one just ended up being like, eh. I love the contrast. I think I just lost a lot of interest. Like you could see, I didn't measure the forehead, and I just kind of went for it and just got ahead of myself and didn't measure. And I can see that in the process here. Like this isn't structurally built, but this one is. And here I just like started doing my portrait art, and I'm enjoying it. I see my mistakes, and that's totally fine, but I also see the growth, and I see that I'm getting back to where I used to be. This one I actually started with a portrait, and then I closed out of the app, and I just was, it's fine, I will find another picture. So I found a picture of this woman, and she had very vibrant hair, and I wanted to like just capture the face, and I'm always bad at drawing straight on portraits. So drawing portraits like this are a challenge because I want to get better at it, and I feel like I definitely got it. Like she looks really cute, and like all the shadows, you could see the light bouncing off of her chin right here, and that's what I aim to do in these sketches and these portraits, to learn more about the face, facial structure for future drawings, so that when I'm drawing on my own with like just my imagination, then I have all of these references to build up from my memory bank, and I could just look back at my sketchbook and just see like, oh, I love how she was looking. I'm going to replicate the pose, but maybe just do a little bit of a flare. So for this one, I liked where I was going, but I can definitely see the mistakes. But I will say the thing that I love drawing the most are noses, because there's so many reflections happening in the nose, and I think I got her nose like right here. There's so many shadows and light is bouncing off of each other. She had like such a sharp nose, and it was like a button nose, and it was very cute. I know I could have moved the mouth over, but I think at a certain point I just got like, it's fine. I will do better the next time. I think her top half looks really good, not so much her bottom half. But then this is actually done the same day. I think I did so much better. Like, this is just within the same hour that I drew. For this one, I definitely went for it. I was just trying to get a portrait done, and I think that kind of ended up backfiring on me. So I was like, okay, the next portrait I'm gonna do, I'm actually going to measure. I'm gonna take the time to do a contour of her face, measure eye to eye, nose to mouth, and forehead to nose, nose to chin, and kind of just make sure I'm getting everything as accurate as I can be. And I think I nailed it for this portrait for sure, because I took the time to just think about it and to not worry about drawing a pretty picture. This is all about building foundation, and I think that she just came out really, really pretty. You can see all my little thinking marks, and I just also love using my new tools because then I can get in closer, or I can do more broad strokes. And then this little girl was my last sketch from a couple days ago, and I was like, I'm gonna do a whole pose and no one's gonna stop me. And I feel like I definitely nailed it. Like, I got a little bit detailed in the face like I usually do, but I was definitely trying to build up the definition, the structure of her body to give her more depth than I normally do in my photos. So you can kind of see, like, I pretty much got detailed to very loose contour, but I personally love it in sketches where you can just see it's a thinking process and it doesn't have to be all nice and neat. You're allowed to be as messy as you can be. So now I am going to draw you a little sketch, and I am always one to draw witches, so I think for today we're going to draw a little bit of witch. She's going to be stylized, but I think it'll be a nice ending for the sketchbook. So I have my handy dandy Graph Gear Pentel pencil that I love so much, and I'm going to write the date. And I feel like I've totally missed out on doing Witchtober or Inktober, but I think it's okay. I usually draw witches anyway, no matter what the season is. So we're just gonna go ahead and draw a witch. So I did my circle for the head. I'm going to mark my eye line and my mouth line and my neck. And the witch hat. I'm going to start off drawing light so I don't have to erase too much. When I sketch, I like to incorporate contour and shading blocking just to get the gist of what's happening in the face. Last year, we were going to dress up as vampires, and I thought I dressed up in my best vampire-esque outfit, and I ended up looking like a witch. So I think just naturally I vibe with the witchy look. Go in with my itty bitty eraser and push back some of this shading. And give her the biggest braid ever. After sketching for almost every morning, I feel a little bit more confident in my lines. And I don't have to second guess where my pen is gonna go. Just gonna add a little bit of black ink with some really old markers that I have. I've always loved a chisel brush. It gives so much texture, and you can do so much with the lines, like imply where things are bending and creasing. Ooh, let's use a brush pen. I haven't used that in forever. a little bit more bright than I expected, but that's okay. This pen I got at Muji. It's one of my favorite pens. It's a very, very thin point. And so I'm just gonna use it for the hair and just kind of fill in some of the strands. This will help give motion to where the hair is being pulled into where it's, you know, where it looks like it's coming into the braid part. So pulling it into the points of the braid. And there's my little sketch. A little witch looking back at you. She's really cute. I added little silver stars and gold highlights to give her a little bit of dimension aside from just the flat black. I should probably get a lighter pink that's better for blushes, but I love the pops in color. I think that kind of helps make her stand out a little bit more. Well, thank you guys for finishing my sketchbook with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. If you guys are interested in seeing more sketchbook tours, I'd love to hear it in the comments. And I hope you guys have a very spooky Halloween. And until next time, bye friends.